So, how's everything been since Monday? Obviously, we spoke to you after the game, and you weren't very happy with
No.
the performance. How's everything been since then?
No, fine, just business as normal. Couple of days just rest and recover after being in over the Easter weekend, and now fully focused on a nice easy game at Portsmouth.
You spoke a lot about the fitness of the players after that game, but we're in the last month of the season. How much can you do between now and then?
I think it's been hard to do too much since we've come in, and for some people that might seem surprising or a little bit strange because you've got a few months. We've definitely changed in terms of how we train, and again, that's not saying it's right or wrong, but how we like to do that. And I think they have done more running than probably they'd done previous, but at the same time you're only going to get so much improvement because we've had quite a lot of games to fit in still, and it's difficult. I spoke about mentality as well in terms of that willingness to run or kind of digging deep to get something extra out of yourself as well. And I've watched a few games recently, and it was talked about, I think this morning on my drive here, around fatigue and the time of season. I get it's been a long hard season, and I guess I did have a small break during it, but for me that's it's an easy excuse. I don't buy it too much. It doesn't stop myself, Chris, the rest of the staff pushing players to get the best out of them, especially when we still need points and to get or secure our safety in League One. So for me that's a big enough incentive to be able to push yourself.
How have the players taken on board what you've been doing since Monday, looking forward to Saturday?
We worked today on obviously some team shape ahead of the Portsmouth game, and hopefully they get that. We gave them some video footage first, then worked on the training pitch. They'll get some more footage, and we'll do some more walkthroughs tomorrow, realistically, ahead of travelling down. You hope that they take it on board and get it. I guess we'll find out Saturday to a degree. We feel that we're going to have to be good. We're going to have to be disciplined, certainly against the team that the table says is the best team in the league. And I'm sure lots of us saw the game the other night against a good Derby side, where although they didn't get the victory, they being at home and getting the crowd behind them, got on top of the game at times. And if they can do that to Derby, then I'm sure in their minds they'll be thinking that they'll be getting 3 points on Saturday.
No Jack Price in the matchday squad on Monday. How's he?
Better. Didn't train with the group today though, so that will be tomorrow is the plan for him to join in, and it will be a case of seeing how he reacts to training to see if we can involve him at the weekend.
So what was it, just kind of muscle soreness, kind of fatigue?
Yeah, I think so. That's what we're certainly hoping, and certainly how he's reported in today a lot better, so we think that that's what it is. One thing I would say, the pitches, because it just seems to rain every day, doesn't it, are heavy, and that probably doesn't help Jack in that sense, but the fact he's been out for so long, and I think when he's gone on he's been really desperate to impress, and obviously it was great him getting the goal and has contributed the other time when he was on, but just taking longer to recover realistically. So I think we know where we're at with him for between now and the end of the season, as in what his role potentially can be, but hopefully he can at least play that part.
Yeah, he travelled down with the squad. We saw him down there on Monday. What's he kind of like around the dressing room?
I think he gets the respect of the players straight away, and just the type of character he is. I think people will naturally have a lot of time for him and listen to him. I think you see we've had it with some senior lads in the past. They maybe talk or say something, and you can see lads not really taking it in, or not, like I said, maybe not got that respect. But I think that's totally different with Jack, the way that he is, the way that he carries himself, and the way he delivers any sort of advice he's giving. So for me, that's great for us and great for the other players, that they've got someone that's got that experience, knows what he's talking about, and like I said, ultimately has got the respect of the group.
Ray Tulloch as well, he missed out. How's he?
He's trained today, said he felt fine, so he'll come into consideration for the squad. With us travelling, probably going to have to leave a couple of lads at home, and that hasn't been absolutely finalised. Jack's situation being one of those reasons. So yeah, in terms of being available, he should be for us.
Jordan Shipley will be back as well, gives you something else to think about as well.
Yeah, it does. I think for Ships it's felt like a long time, albeit he did say that he kept forgetting he was suspended, which I think helped him maybe get through a couple of training sessions, thinking he's going to be ready for the game, and then remembering that he wasn't available. So maybe a good thing in one sense, but no, look, he's been I think ever present since I came in, and Aidan's come in and done well. But Ships can play different positions also, so pleased to have him back and like I said, up for selection.
Yeah, it's been most of the case this season, that there hasn't been the option to kind of pick and choose and, have a squad. It must be nice to just have something to think about in that regard.
Yeah, I think it hasn't been too bad since I've came in, albeit we've had injuries or like this suspension to, I would suggest, bigger players in one sense. But we have, I think, since I've been here, been able to pick stronger squads in the main, for whatever reason that is. So yeah, it's nice to have options. Rather have headaches from that point of view than, really sort of scratching around to fill the bench.
So Portsmouth this weekend, we've spoken about them and obviously the challenges that will present. Also the atmosphere as well. For some of the players, it'll be maybe the biggest atmosphere and the biggest crowd that they've played in front of. Possibly,
yeah. Obviously went to Derby, but where we are in the season and how close they're getting to finally getting out of League One, which has been, I think, too long for them and their fan base. You could see the excitement the other day, and they were drawing the game. The stands were bouncing. There'll be a big crowd. I would have thought 20,000 or very close to it. And as you say, our lads have got to cope with that. It's not. A lot of eyes will be on Portsmouth, and the fact it'll edge them closer depending on other results and things like that. But we're not just going there just to sort of fulfil the fixture. That's certainly not the attitude I want the players to go in with. I want us to go and compete, and like I said, we've got to try and get something from the game. Their record at the minute and the way they're going in league position, we know it's going to be tough, and for most people it'll be a home win. We've got to try and cause a little bit of a surprise on that front, and like I said, we need first and foremost to have that mentality when the lads step out on the pitch, that we're not just there, not lambs to the slaughter. I said that to him this morning. We've got to try and soak that atmosphere up, use it for his own good. Also, can we try and turn the crowd, because it's a great place to play, and I'm sure this season near enough always it has been, but I've also been there, and you can, if things aren't going as expected, they can get on the players' backs at times, so that's something we've got to try and do.